What was he doing?
A 40-yard dash, but
What did it take him? 3 minutes to do it?
6 seconds.
That's my worst 40 in my life.
It's not accurate, also.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Rob, and welcome to Axel's Garage. We have a product review, and today's product review, I'm going to read what it says: Deformable lamp retrofit light. But it's not what you think. It's one of these. Right now, anybody who does the Instagram, what else? Facebook, and probably Snapchat. Does Snapchat have ads, Steve-O?
Yeah.
I don't do Snapchat, but probably noticed these ads for this light coming up prior to Christmas. Right? It was, what?
Never seen it.
Never seen it?
Never seen it.
Well, I don't know how you guys have never seen it, but you see this light? It's being marketed as a garage light. And prior to Christmas this year, every time I went on Instagram or Facebook, this was the ad that they were throwing at me. I hadn't searched for lights. I hadn't shopped around for lights. I don't know why they were targeting. Maybe it was the garage thing because it's a garage light. I don't know. But anyway, I was a little intrigued about it, but never thought. I thought about buying one to give away as a Christmas gift, but I didn't really have the time to do the research. So after Christmas, I did some research on these lights, and apparently there are a gazillion. That's a lot. They're all over. So if you go on Amazon and search LED garage light, you'll find a ton of them. And reading through the comments about those lights, there is a couple of major comments. One is that it's cheap China crap. That's the first one. And that a lot of them are dead out of the box. The other comment is that they're noisy. Now, I don't know if they make noise themselves or they transmit interference that makes white noise or whatever in other electronic devices like phones or video cameras or things like that. And then there was one guy who was very astute in his research, and I think astute is the right word. It sounds like the right word. Well, it should be the right word. But anyway, he talked about the lights not being UL listed and being dangerous and shorting out on them because they're cheap China lights with no quality control and no standards as to how electrical products are made. Now, here in the States, the things that we buy are usually UL listed, Underwriters Laboratory.
Did you decontaminate that?
And they have, did I decontaminate it for the Corona Extra, the Corona Light or the Corona Extra virus? No, I didn't decontaminate it, but, so you got the UL listing. And I tried to find one of these that was UL listed. Impossible. Could not find it. But, oh, lady, I'm over here talking. But I did find one that was ETL listed. And I had no idea what ETL was. So I did a little Googling. ETL is a testing agency or group or whatever it might be. Some kind of testing thing. That's they test electrical products to UL standards, but they're not UL. Probably cheaper. It's probably cheaper to get something ETL accredited rather than UL listed. Shut up. So I picked one that's got the ETL logo on it because at least that gives some sense of safety and some peace of mind. So now we got the light in. The standard one that they started marketing back in October, September was a 60 watt, and now they've come up with 80 and 100 watt ones since then. But so I got the original 60 watt. The color temperature is supposed to be between 6,000 and 6,500 K, and it says no radar. I don't know what radar is, but it says no radar, and 6,000 lumens, right? And you're supposed to screw it into a normal kind of light bulb socket, like one of those old school porcelain sockets, or a plastic one. The new ones are plastic, and they look like the white porcelain ones. But because it's marketed for an unfinished garage space where the only light fixture is just a screw-in light bulb or an unfinished basement. So opening up the box, they give you a, oh, this is kind of handy, Steve-O. You like this. They give you an LED light that plugs into USB. I guess that's their little giveaway. They got a user's manual. I can't imagine what indoor use only, about what you really need to know about this user's manual. It's the life cycle, 50,000 hours, easy to install. It screws into a light bulb socket. How hard could it be? So, pull it out here. It's in this thing. Like I said, not UL listed, it's ETL listed. And here it is. And it pretty much just screws into a light socket. Probably if you wanted to use it in some kind of recessed socket, you need extensions. There was one that came with extensions, and the reviews on the extensions were shitty and made noise and were crackly and didn't make good contacts, and those weren't UL or ETL listed. So you can run over to a local hardware store, they sell those little extensions, and you can probably put maybe 2 or 3 and get them into a light fixture. Right? So that's it, Steve-O. Right? And you can adjust these. They don't swivel, they just adjust up and down like that. So this is supposed to be the solution for a garage that might only have one light fixture in the middle of the garage or 2, or an unfinished basement or an unfinished attic, or something that might only have a couple of those old school porcelain or plastic single bulb light fixtures. So with that being said, it's an LED light, and it's 60 watt. It's a real 60 watt light. Now most people, when they put bulbs in like their basement, like down in our unfinished portion of our basement, we got 4 or 5, I think, of those porcelain light fixtures, and we had like a 60 watt light bulb in each one. And then when the CFLs came out, we switched them over to CFLs, a 60 watt equivalent CFL, which only drew like 15 or 20 watts. And then when the LEDs came out, we switched them over to LEDs, and now what we use down there are LED bulbs that produce the same light output as a 60 watt incandescent bulb, but it only draws between 8.5 and 10 watts. So this 60 watt light bulb draws between 8.5 and 10 watts and produces the same light output as a 60 watt incandescent light bulb, and it's only really a 9 watt bulb. But this LED light is 60 watts, meaning it's drawing 60 watts. So it's drawing the same juice as a 60 watt light bulb would. It's absolutely going to be a lot brighter than a 60 watt light bulb, but it's not an energy savings thing. Like people think about that when they go to LEDs. I'm going to LEDs for energy savings. This is not an energy saving option. This is for more light. So with more light, you need more juice. And this is real 60 watts. So this is just like having a 60 watt light bulb in there, and it's going to give you more light, supposedly, than the 60 watt light bulb. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down into the basement, and I am going to put this bulb into one of the light heads so that you can see what a 60 watt incandescent LED bulb will do. So this LED bulb at 9 point something watts is producing the light of 60 watts incandescent. We'll see what it looks like, and then we'll put this in, which is drawing the same 60 watts that the old school incandescent, which I don't even have one, draws, and see how much light this throws. And if this throws a lot of light, it's a great alternative for people that might only have 1 or 2 light fixtures in some unfinished space. And I think they market it, Steve-O, more towards unfinished space, because you need that extra light because you don't have the walls and ceilings for the light to reflect off of. You have a lot of open rafters and studs that absorb more light rather than reflect it like sheetrock or tile or any kind of drywall or something like that. So we're gonna move the camera. We'll go downstairs and we'll see what this actually is as compared to 60 watts. I'm in Axel's attic right now, and this is a pretty big attic. We got about 37 feet from one end to the other end of the attic, and we're probably about, before the walls really come down, walking height, we're probably about 20 feet side to side. The total width is 34 to 37. I think I'm 34 this way, 37 this way. But it's a big attic, and we have 5 of those porcelain light fixtures running right across the top of the attic, and that's what's lighting the attic up. And I don't even know what size bulbs. I'll let you know what size bulbs we have in there. But a lot of people have garages like this that are unfinished, attics that are unfinished, and if a builder built your house, chances are the code required 1 or 2 light fixtures in this space. I know here where I live in New York, I think the code requires 1 light fixture for this unfinished space. I had never really heard of ETL, and if there's any electrical guys out there that are watching and you want to give us an education, please put it in the comments below, because this whole ETL thing is new to me. But from the time that I ordered this to now that I'm making the video, I actually came across Sylvania bulbs, LED Sylvania regular household bulbs like this, that don't have the UL symbol on it, and they have the ETL symbol. So I think now that I have it in the back of my head, as I'm doing stuff around the house and in the garage, you might find some products in your own house that already have that ETL certification rather than UL. I really don't know if there's a difference. Probably comes down to shekels, like anything else. UL is probably more expensive to get a UL stamp on your product, and if you're making a million of these stupid lights and you could save a couple bucks over the course of a million lights, that might add up. To get the ETL instead of the UL, they go with the ETL. Either way, I got the ETL for a little peace of mind, instead of just getting the out-of-the-box, no-brand, cheap China. So when we built the house, all incandescent bulbs, and these 5 light fixtures all have incandescent bulbs in it, and like I said, they're probably 60 or 100 watt bulbs. They kind of look like 60s, but we're going to take them down, and we're going to find an LED bulb that you're using because you need more light. Because if this was a contractor grade house and a contractor came in and they're building it to sell it, they're going to save as much money. So if the code requires 1 light up in this unfinished space, they're putting 1 light. And 1 light, okay, even if you put a 100 watt bulb in it, that 1 light is just not going to do its justice on a large, especially a large unfinished space. Because without having drywall and ceilings and floors that are going to reflect light, you got to open studs and open rafters, and that just absorbs the light, so you don't get a lot of light output. And that's why they marketed this for garages. Because most garages, even if they're attached to the house or under the house, they're unfinished space. There's usually 1 light fixture, maybe 2 in a decent-sized 2-car garage, and you just don't get a lot of light. It's dim. You still need to pull a flashlight out when you're looking through stuff. If, like, our attic, is filled with crap, and we got to look through stuff. And even with 5 lights, sometimes we find ourselves getting a flashlight out and looking through the boxes of baby clothes that we still have from when my kids were babies. My oldest is 23, and the youngest is 16, and we still have their baby clothes because my wife can't throw anything away. But that's just another story. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is let's just do a real easy, fair comparison. So I'm going to turn out all of my lights overhead except for the one in the middle, the one in dead center of this attic. We'll leave that one on, show you what it looks like with the 1 bulb, like as if a contractor built your house for you and you came up here and you just have 1 light fixture. All right, so this is it. The camera is probably a quarter of the way. So I'm standing in the middle of the attic. The camera's probably halfway between me and the other end of the attic. And then there's me, and you can see that end of the attic, if you can even see it now with just the 1 light fixture. So this is one, we verified it, it's 1 60 watt bulb in the middle of the attic, and this is what you would have in a builder grade kind of situation. So whether it's your garage or your attic, you want more light, you're going to go with this. This is 60, and actually it's going to draw 60 watts just like that bulb. So we're not saving anything, and we're not losing anything by putting this in, other than the expense of the light, which is, like I said, about $35. I can't reach it. All right, so we got the light up. I got them all at about a 45 degree, and it's a lot more light. It throws it a lot farther than the regular incandescent bulb that was in there, and this was actually, I thought it said 60, it's 75 watt. So this actually is a ton more light. So if you were in that situation where you only had 1 light fixture and you just wanted to screw a bulb in to give you more light, this is definitely the way to go. And you can take those panels and you could move them to adjust it to get the light in the right spots that you know, to tailor for your room. Like if there's like we have the air conditioning ductwork going up and over that blocks some of the light, you can adjust it so that it's either going over it or going under it, and you can adjust it around. But it definitely is a monstrous difference. And if you had it in your attic or your garage, as advertised, it definitely makes a big difference in the amount of light. It's supposed to last 50,000 hours, and like I said, it's ETL certified or acknowledged or listed or however it is. I don't know what that whole ETL thing is. Like I said, if you're an electrical guy and you want to put it in the comments, we can all learn something. But like I said, Sylvania, right, a big company, on their LED bulbs, it said ETL listed or ETL certified. It had the ETL logo, whatever it's called. I'm saying listed because it's UL listed. But I think for $35, just to screw it in where a light bulb came out, for people that can't, you know, put a fixture in or something like that, this is real simple and it's a real easy fix. And it's bright because when I put it in and it was on and I looked into it, wow, you know, I was seeing spots a little bit. But big difference. I think for, you know, my circumstance here, where I have 5 light fixtures, I'll just put the 9.5 watt LED bulbs. I had it somewhere. 9.5 watt LED bulbs and call it a day. This I'll probably use. I might use it in the garage, even though I have some decent lighting in the garage. If I put this right in the middle, it might eliminate some of the couple shadows that I have here or there. But I like it. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this product review here at Axel's Garage. And I remind you, I will put a link to this exact light in the description below. If you're interested and you want to give it a shot, $35. Hey, what do you got to lose? Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And if you like what we're doing here at Axel's Garage, product reviews, how-to videos, cooking, and all kinds of nonsense, subscribe to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.